Positive body image is next to godliness. Keep watching as we go over how that is and what you can do starting today to change your thought process and get closer to God. On God. Bonjour. Welcome to La Clinique Molière, where we increase awareness and improve the quality of living. I'm Rachel. And on this channel, we talk about mindful living, self-development, and woman and maternal child health. Let's get to it. So this video is really exciting. It's also really important as we shift to our women's health and maternal child health series. I'm so excited to get going with that. We'll still, connect the mindful living and the self-development in these topics, but we are shifting our focus and we are so excited to get over to our next segment. Keep watching until the end for practical tips that you can start taking today to change your thought process for a more positive body image. We should start with, what do you think of yourself? Okay, what do you think of yourself when you look in the mirror? What do you think? Do you pour into self-positive affirmations, loving, supportive thoughts, or are you pretty hard on yourself? Your hair's too frizzy, your edges, your hair's too short, your hair's too long, you name it. You're too tall, too short, you're too skinny, too overweight. The list goes on. You're not good enough. You're not enough. You're unworthy. The list goes on of how hard we can be on ourselves. How does body image or positive body image connect directly to God, your source, and bring you closer to God? Here's the scoop. Ever wonder why all of those negative thoughts we just spoke about, they never feel good? Think about it next time. Be aware of your feelings, be aware of your thoughts and how they make you feel, okay? That's your guidance system. Tells you how you're doing, tells you where you're going. So you ever wonder why those thoughts never feel good? Well, it's because God, your creator, source, thinks the total opposite of you, okay? So whenever you have an opposing thought, okay, that counters that thought of God, that thinks you're whole, complete, perfect, as you are, because remember, you're a spiritual being having a physical experience, so you're just in a loner body, okay? And so God is seeing right through to your spirit and source, and again, thinks you're whole and complete. So when you are only looking through the physical lens of with your senses of what's tangible, that's when you run into issues of those counter emotions and counter feelings. You may get anxiety, depression, you name it. Everything and all those feelings and emotions that do not feel good and that definitely do not serve us. So when you align your heart and brain, okay, coherence, or when you align that mind, body, spirit connection, that positive body image, and you align it with what source thinks of you, then you are able to align your behaviors to match that, okay? And your encounters in turn will reflect that, okay? Because again, we talked about this a lot on our channel, you are radiating and emitting energy, okay? So you are getting back, boomerang style, what you're putting out. So I have a favorite saying, show me the fruit and I will tell you what kind of tree it is. So it's the same concept with what you put out, you receive back, or what you put in, you receive back again. So it's the same thing with a planting. What you harvest, you will grow. Okay, so and that begins with that inner work, that inner self-talk, inner thoughts of self from yourself to yourself. So what you are pouring in or what you believe of yourself, you will get back in return. So it's so important to do that inner work. It's key. So that's why that body image, that positive body image, aligns with godliness, because not only does God and Source believe that you're perfect and whole, so you align with that coherence of who you really are. And then in turn, you will attract and get more of what you're putting out once you start believing who you really are. So, also, the disdain of your body image reflects your behaviors when you're out, your experiences with your attracting. So oftentimes you displace those feelings, those insecurities, and you displace those feelings onto others, onto your other experiences, maybe onto your children, onto your loved ones, your significant other, maybe even the barista who gave you a smile and perfect coffee. So, right. So, you're displacing that inner talk and that inner feeling of how you feel about self onto others. And then remember, again, that cycle is that you're going to get what you're putting out. So you're going to get more negative experiences to be negative about, because that's what you're putting out there. So it's so important to start within and start with yourself, so that you're not displacing any negative emotions and any fear. Maybe you attract that jerk of a guy that treats you how you feel about yourself, how you really feel about yourself, okay? Minus the glitter and the gold, how you really feel about yourself, right? And so it's all connected. So it's so important that we do that inner work. I say, and I've said it in other videos, that self-love and that positive body image, you can kind of assess and do a check how you're doing based on the experiences that you encounter, right? Your everyday encounters. So do an assessment, if you will. Do a self-love check or a body image check. They go under the same category, because with self-love, you're embracing your mind, body, and spirit. And body is part of that, right? So as you are, you're meeting yourself where you are. You're petting yourself. You're kind. You're gentle with self. So a good way to assess where you are is to assess your encounters, your relationships with others, your encounters at the marketplace, you name it. They should be loving and kind. They should be positive and supportive, if that's what you're putting out there. So you can always assess your surroundings to see how you're doing. Here's what I did, some practical tips that I took to increase my positive body image, get closer to God, and improve my overall self love. Inner talk and mirror work are going to be key, okay? What are your thoughts to yourself about yourself? So I'll probably say this in every video, but I like to counter my negative thinking right at the start of it. Okay, I like to counter it with a gratitude. So I thank the negative thought for showing up. Thanks for being here, but no thanks. And so I thank the negative thought for trying to protect me. I let the negative thought know it's no longer needed, it no longer serves me, and I choose to believe. And then I pick a new thought to believe. So this has been really effective for me. Mirror talk. Go to the mirror and just tell yourself, I lovingly approve of myself. Louise Hay has some amazing work that she's done on this topic. I lovingly approve of myself. I am where I am. It's okay where I am. It's so good. So take a look into that. I'll put the resources below so that you can get started today. So that inner talk, mirror talk, positive affirmations are going to be key to improve your positive body image. Next thing I've used that was very effective was positive affirmations. And when it relates to positive body image, I have I've countered any of my flawed principles. I've countered those thoughts with what I actually want to see or what my desire is, okay? So I literally look past my physical senses and I see through to my spirit, my perfect, whole, and complete self that God sees. And then I speak life into it. And that's what the word says, power in the tongue. So I don't call things as they were, okay? I call them as I want them to be. Speak life into everything. It's my secret that I use. It's very powerful. I speak life into everything. So I literally may, even if I'm having terrible skin breakout, I would speak positivity and tell myself I have positive skin health. I have great, excellent skin health, despite what I'm seeing. So, lastly, because you're like, okay, where are we going with this? And what are my results? Okay, so what can you expect when you increase your self love, increase your positive body image to align with what God source thinks of you? Now, when you change your thought process, what you look at will begin to change. You will begin to literally mold into the perfect image that source sees you as. I know it's so powerful, and you just have to try it to believe it. Okay, so energy will flow differently or go towards the positive thinking now, right? Where your thoughts are going, you change your thoughts, right? Through your inner self talk, your mirror work, you change your beliefs about yourself, they're more positive. Then energy starts to flow towards that positive thing. Your habits start to change, and your outcomes also change. And then, lastly, your encounters start to change. Remember, we talked about in the beginning how one negative thought leads to another negative thought, leads to a negative encounter, then another negative thing to be negative about. And so, once you change for the more positive, your encounters become more enjoyable and positive as well. Also, you are more, when you're more gentle and more loving with yourself, you're more gentle and loving with others and your significant other, your children, you name it, your encounters. And so you get more to be loving about. You love yourself more now, and you're more gentle with yourself, and you pet yourself, and you're kinder, and you're more patient with yourself. You'll be more patient and kind and gentle with others. So that includes your significant other, maybe your children, your coworkers, colleagues. And then in turn, you'll get more to be positive and loving about. And please comment, like, and subscribe. Comment below if there's anything that resonated with you or anything that you think you might try or anything that our community can benefit from. We always love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. We hope to see you on the next video. Au revoir. Merci.